He beat the FBI 3 times, 3 separate federal trials, 3 acquittals. Newspapers put his face on the front page and called him untouchable. Then his best friend walked into a courtroom and in 3 days of testimony destroyed everything John Gotti had spent his entire life building. This is the true story of the last real gangster America ever produced.
But to understand how the most powerful mob boss in the country fell, you have to go back to where he started. Because John Gotti didn't inherit power. He took it. Every single piece of it. And the same instinct that drove him to the top is exactly what brought him down.
John Joseph Gotti was born on October 27, 1940, in the South Bronx, New York. One of 13 children in a family that had almost nothing. His father worked irregularly as a day laborer. There was never enough money. There was never enough of anything. By age 12, Gotti's family had moved to East New York, Brooklyn, a neighborhood already deep inside the orbit of the Gambino crime family. And at 12 years old, Gotti started running errands for the local mob crew. Not because anyone forced him, because he wanted to. At 14, he was attempting to steal a cement mixer from a construction site when it fell and crushed his toes, leaving him with a permanent limp for the rest of his life. He didn't slow down. At 16, he dropped out of school entirely. By his early 20s, Gotti was running with the Fulton Rockaway Boys, a street gang connected to the Gambino family, and pulling truck hijackings at what is now JFK Airport with his brother Gene and his friend Angelo Ruggiero. In 1968, the FBI caught him and charged him with cargo theft. He pleaded guilty and served 3 years in federal prison. When he got out in 1972, he went straight back to work. Within 2 years, he committed his first murder, killing a man who had kidnapped and killed the nephew of Gambino boss, Carlo Gambino. He was arrested, convicted of attempted manslaughter, and sentenced to 4 years. He served 2. By the time he walked out of prison in 1977, John Gotti was a made man, a full member of the Gambino crime family, the most powerful criminal organization in the United States. He was promoted to captain of the Virgin crew in Queens, and he started making serious money, gambling, loan sharking, hijacking, and quietly building the kind of loyalty among his men that made him something the Gambino family hadn't had in years, a leader people would follow into anything. In 1980, Gotti's 12-year-old son Frank was killed, struck by a car driven by a neighbor named John Favara while riding his bicycle near their home in Howard Beach, Queens. 4 months later, John Favara disappeared. His body was never found. In December 1985, Gotti made his move. The Gambino family boss, Paul Castellano, a cold, corporate-minded Don who had banned his men from dealing drugs under penalty of death, was about to have Gotti and his crew killed for defying that rule. Gotti struck first. On the evening of December 16, 1985, Paul Castellano and his driver Thomas Bellotti pulled up outside Sparks Steakhouse on East 46th Street in Midtown Manhattan. As soon as they stepped out of the car, 4 men in trench coats and fur hats opened fire. Castellano was shot 6 times. Bellotti was shot 4 times. Both were dead before they hit the pavement. John Gotti watched from a car parked across the street. He had one of his men drive him slowly past the bodies to confirm the job was done. Then he went home. Within weeks, John Gotti was named the new boss of the Gambino crime family. He was 45 years old, and he was about to become the most famous gangster in America. While every other mob boss in New York avoided cameras, shielded their faces, and refused to speak to reporters, Gotti did the opposite. He wore $1,800 double-breasted suits from Brioni, hand-painted silk ties. His hair was always perfectly styled, a silver-white halo above a face that wore confidence like a second skin. He walked out of federal courthouses grinning. He waved at reporters. He shook hands with fans on the street. The tabloids called him the Dapper Don, and the FBI hated every second of it. In 1986, the federal government indicted Gotti on racketeering charges, certain they finally had enough to put him away. The jury acquitted him. In 1987, they tried again. Assault charges. Acquitted again. In 1990, another federal racketeering trial. Acquitted for the third time. The media gave him a new nickname, the Teflon Don. Nothing stuck. What investigators were only beginning to understand, and what would later be proven in court, was that the acquittals were not miracles. They were bought. Witnesses were intimidated. Jurors were tampered with. Gotti was not untouchable. He was careful, and he was willing to do whatever it took to stay free. But in December 1990, the FBI raided the Ravenite Social Club in Little Italy, Gotti's regular hangout, and arrested him, along with several of his top associates. And this time, they had something they had never had before. They had tapes. For years, FBI agents had been planting microphones inside the Ravenite Social Club, including, crucially, inside a private apartment above the club, where Gotti regularly went to talk business in what he believed was total privacy. The recordings were devastating. Gotti's own voice, captured on tape, discussing murders, crimes, and, most fatally, disparaging his closest ally and underboss, Salvatore "Sammy the Bull" Gravano. On the tapes, Gotti complained about Gravano. He blamed him for problems in the family. He made comments that, when played for Gravano by FBI agents, told the underboss one thing with absolute clarity. His boss was willing to throw him under the bus to save himself. Salvatore Gravano had been with Gotti from the beginning. He had committed 19 murders as a Gambino soldier and underboss. He had never once cooperated with law enforcement. The Code of Omerta, the Mafia's sacred law of silence, had been the foundation of his entire life. He broke it. In 1991, Gravano agreed to become a government witness and testify against John Gotti in exchange for a reduced sentence. When Gotti's defense attorney heard the news, he reportedly went pale. Gravano knew everything. He had been there for everything. The trial began in February 1992. Gravano took the stand and spent days dismantling the myth of John Gotti, confirming murders, confirming orders, confirming the hierarchy of the Gambino family in precise, credible, first-hand detail that no FBI agent could have provided. This time, there was no jury tampering. There was no intimidating the witnesses, because the witness was the underboss of the Gambino crime family himself, a man who had looked Gotti in the eye every day for years and knew exactly where every body was buried. On April 2, 1992, the jury found John Gotti guilty on all 13 counts: murder, racketeering, conspiracy, obstruction of justice. The judge sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The head of the FBI's New York office stood outside the courthouse and told reporters, "The Teflon is gone. The Don is covered with Velcro, and every charge stuck." Gotti was sent to the United States Penitentiary at Marion, Illinois, one of the most secure federal prisons in the country. He was locked in his cell for 23 hours a day. He remained, on paper, the official boss of the Gambino crime family for the rest of his life, issuing orders through his son and brother from his prison cell. In 1998, he was diagnosed with throat cancer. It was treated and went into remission. It came back. On June 10th, 2002, John Gotti died at a federal medical center in Springfield, Missouri. He was 61 years old. He walked into the most powerful criminal organization in America, wearing nothing but ambition and a willingness to do what no one else would. He beat the system 3 times. He made the FBI look foolish. He made the streets of New York his stage. And in the end, it wasn't the FBI that broke him. It was a single conversation, recorded on tape, where he said the wrong thing about the wrong man. The last real gangster, brought down not by the law, but by his own words. History doesn't forget men like John Gotti, and neither will you. Stay with us. The next story is just as dark.